me tell you something. Success doesn't come to those who sit back and wait for permission to rise. It doesn't favor the ones who coast, who hope, who wish for a breakthrough without ever moving their feet. Success comes to those who are willing to build when no one is watching, to cry and wipe their own tears, and still show up like the victory is already theirs. See, you have power in you, real power. Power that doesn't need validation, doesn't need applause, doesn't even need the path to be clear. You have power that was born in the fire, power that was forged in your struggle, power that is not intimidated by what others have or what you don't. The only thing standing between you and the life you're destined to live is the decision to cultivate the kind of habits that elevate you beyond excuses and into execution. I know life has knocked you down before. I know there are moments where you feel like you've been overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed. But I came to remind you that your success does not lie in the hands of anyone else. You are not waiting on a moment. You are the moment. You are not waiting for an opportunity. You are the opportunity. You are the key to your own breakthrough. One thing that shifts everything, discipline. Not the kind of discipline that shows up when it's easy, when you're motivated, when things are flowing. I'm talking about the discipline that shows up when you're tired, when the doors are closed, when you don't feel like it, but you push anyway. You push because you remember who you are. You push because giving up is not an option. You push because your vision demands consistency, not convenience. And when you adopt the habit of discipline, things start to move. Not overnight, not always with fireworks, but with a quiet power that builds momentum. It's in the early mornings when no one else is awake. It's in the late nights when you're still grinding. It's in the decisions you make that no one else sees. That's where success is born. Next, let's talk about focus. There are so many distractions trying to pull you away from your purpose. Social media, opinions, fears, doubts, they're all noise, but when you get clear on your vision, when you lock in on what you're called to do, that's when you stop entertaining things that don't align. That's when you stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You don't have time to be distracted when you're walking in purpose. Focus means you know how to say no. It means you protect your time, your energy, your peace. It means you don't allow temporary feelings to dictate permanent decisions, because your focus is rooted in something bigger than just success. It's rooted in legacy and impact and purpose. Now, let's get real. You need to surround yourself with the right people. I don't mean people who clap for you in public but envy you in private. I mean people who challenge you, who pray for you, who push you to be better, who hold you accountable, people who see the greatness in you even when you can't see it yourself. You cannot grow in a toxic environment. You cannot flourish if the people around you are committed to staying stuck. And sometimes the most powerful habit you can have is knowing when to let go. Letting go of relationships that drain you. Letting go of environments that hinder you, letting go of mindsets that limit you, because elevation requires separation, and your future is too valuable to keep entertaining what no longer serves you. You also have to cultivate gratitude, not just when things are good, not just when the breakthrough comes, but even in the struggle. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It keeps you grounded. It reminds you that even if you're not where you want to be, you're further than you were. It gives you the strength to endure, to persevere, to trust the process. Gratitude unlocks joy, and joy is strength. When you have joy, the enemy can't shake you, storms can't break you, setbacks can't define you, because your joy isn't rooted in your circumstances, it's rooted in your faith, your purpose, your knowing that all things are working together for your good. And finally, don't underestimate the power of vision. I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm talking about a vision so clear, so powerful, that it pulls you out of bed in the morning. A vision that keeps you going when nothing makes sense. A vision that burns so deep in your spirit that you refuse to settle for anything less. When you have vision, you're not moved by the opinions of others. You're not shaken by obstacles. You know that what you're building is bigger than you. It's about your children, your community, your legacy. Vision keeps you aligned. It keeps you humble. It keeps you hungry. Success isn't about luck. It's about alignment, obedience, and intentionality. It's about showing up every day and deciding that you will not waste your potential, that you will not let fear write your story, that you will not live in the shadows when you were born to shine. You have what it takes, not because of what you have or who you know, but because of who you are. Because you were created with purpose. Because the same power that raised you out of brokenness, that sustains you in your lowest moments, is the same power that will elevate you into everything you were born to be. Discipline is the cornerstone of success. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well, when the stars align, and when the path seems clear. But real success isn't built on fleeting moments of excitement or bursts of energy. It's built on the unwavering commitment to show up every single day, whether the conditions are perfect or not. Motivation can be fickle, unreliable, and often temporary, but discipline is a constant force, a steady companion that pushes you forward when nothing else will. Motivation feels good when you're riding high. It's the fuel that ignites the fire within you, the spark that gets you moving. But what happens when that spark fades? What happens when challenges arise, when the journey gets tough, when you feel exhausted or overwhelmed? That's where discipline steps in. Motivation might get you started, but it's discipline that carries you through. It's the daily commitment to your goals, even on the days when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're questioning whether it's all worth it. Discipline is the habit of doing the hard work even when there's no immediate reward. It's about pushing through discomfort, not because you're always excited about the task at hand, but because you understand that consistency over time leads to growth. It's about understanding that your small daily actions compound and lead to something bigger than what you see in the moment. And it's like plants and seeds. The results don't always show immediately, but when you nurture them day in and day out, you'll eventually see the fruit. Many people expect success to come easily, or they believe it will happen in a grand, dramatic way, but the truth is success is built on the quiet, persistent actions that happen behind the scenes. It's waking up early, even when you'd rather stay in bed. It's putting in the work when there's no one around to cheer you on. It's continuing to grind day after day despite setbacks, failures, or lack of immediate results. Discipline is a promise to yourself that you will not quit even when the motivation fades. The beauty of discipline is that it builds momentum. When you show up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, you begin to create a rhythm. The days become easier, the actions more automatic, and you start to feel the impact of your efforts. What felt like a chore in the beginning starts to feel natural. The resistance you once faced begins to weaken, and you start to build a powerful routine that pushes you closer to your goals every single day. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when you slip up, when you miss a deadline, or when you fail to meet your own expectations, but the key is not to give up in those moments. Discipline means you get back up, reset your focus, and continue moving forward. It's about resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep pushing forward with renewed energy. It's also important to understand that discipline requires sacrifice. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals, even if they aren't the easiest or most fun in the short term. Sometimes you'll have to say no to instant gratification, to distractions, to things that pull you away from your purpose. It's about understanding the value of delayed gratification, knowing that the rewards you're seeking are worth the effort even if they're not immediate. Discipline also requires self-control. It's the ability to focus on what matters, to prioritize your goals, and to avoid getting sidetracked by things that won't help you grow. In a world full of distractions, discipline means learning how to say no, how to protect your time and energy, and how to stay committed to your purpose. The more you practice discipline, the stronger your self-control becomes, and the less tempted you are by things that won't bring you closer to your vision. At the end of the day, discipline is a mindset. It's a decision to commit to your goals no matter what. It's a decision to show up even when you don't feel like it, and it's that consistency, that unwavering commitment that will ultimately lead to your success. You won't always feel motivated, and that's okay, but as long as you remain disciplined, as long as you keep showing up, you will find that success will eventually meet you at the intersection of hard work and perseverance. Focus is one of the most powerful tools you can have on the journey to success. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus is often what separates those who achieve their goals from those who get lost in the noise. It's so easy to get sidetracked, to lose track of what truly matters, to become overwhelmed by the constant pull of things that don't contribute to your ultimate vision. But focus isn't just about blocking out distractions. It's about understanding what deserves your attention and committing to it fully with intention and clarity. When you focus, you take control of your life. You stop allowing external circumstances and other people's priorities to dictate your decisions. Instead, you choose to center your energy on what aligns with your purpose. Focus is the act of saying no to the things that do not serve your vision, to the temptations that might feel good in the moment but ultimately pull you away from your path. It's about making deliberate choices that honor your time, your energy, and your long-term goals. One of the first steps in developing focus is clarity. You cannot focus on something unless you know what you're focusing on. If you don't have a clear sense of direction, it's easy to get lost in a sea of options and distractions. Knowing your why, the reason behind your goals, is essential for sharpening your focus. When you're clear about your purpose, when you know why you're working so hard, you can filter out anything that doesn't move you closer to that purpose. Clarity brings alignment. It helps you see through the fog of uncertainty and guides you toward your destination even when the road is unclear. Focus also requires you to practice mindfulness. It's about being present in each moment and giving your full attention to the task at hand. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to multitask, to juggle 100 things at once, but multitasking is often a recipe for mediocrity. When you try to do too many things at once, you end up spreading yourself too thin and nothing gets the attention it truly deserves. True focus means giving each task the time and energy it needs to be completed to the best of your ability. It means being fully engaged with what you're doing in the present moment rather than worrying about the future or getting caught up in the past. Learning to focus also means recognizing the power of your thoughts. Your mind is constantly bombarded with information and it can be overwhelming. However, what you choose to think about, what you choose to give your mental energy to, directly impacts your ability to stay focused. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and fear can easily steal your focus and distract you from what matters. But when you train your mind to focus on your strengths, your goals, and the progress you've made, you begin to build a powerful mental focus that propels you forward. In addition to mental clarity, focus requires setting boundaries. One of the biggest threats to focus is external distractions, social media, the opinions of others, constant notifications, and the noise of the world around us. Setting boundaries isn't just about saying no to others, it's about saying no to the distractions that pull you away from your goals. It's about carving out time in your day for uninterrupted work, for self-care, and for reflection. You might need to turn off notifications, stop checking your phone every 5 minutes, or remove yourself from environments that aren't conducive to your growth. Boundaries protect your focus by ensuring that you only engage with what is truly important. Focus also demands discipline. You cannot expect to maintain focus without the discipline to stay on track. It's easy to get distracted by the next shiny object, by a new opportunity, by the allure of something that seems easier, more exciting. But discipline is about committing to your priorities, even when the initial excitement fades. It's about continuing to show up and put in the work, even when it feels monotonous, because you know that focus and consistency will yield results over time. There will be days when your focus wavers, when the distractions seem overwhelming, when it feels like you're not making progress. That's normal, but the key is not to let those moments define you. Focus is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to shut out the distractions and stay on course. And when you keep practicing, you'll begin to see the fruits of your labor. The momentum will build, the progress will become undeniable, and your success will be directly tied to the strength of your focus. Focus is what allows you to move forward step by step, even when the path is unclear. It's what helps you make progress every day, even when that progress feels small. And when you maintain that focus, when you refuse to be sidetracked by the things that don't matter, you will find that success doesn't come by chance. It comes by choice. And the choice to focus is the choice to unlock the doors of your potential and walk through them with confidence. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most powerful actions you can take on your journey to success. The people you choose to have around you play a pivotal role in shaping your mindset, your habits, and your future. They can either lift you up or hold you back. The importance of surrounding yourself with individuals who encourage, challenge, and support you cannot be overstated. When you surround yourself with the right people, you enter into a community that aligns with your goals, values, and vision for your life. These are the people who push you to be better, who see your potential even when you can't see it yourself, and who inspire you to go after your dreams with determination. They remind you of who you are, not just who you've been. They see your greatness and are willing to speak into your life, helping you to rise higher step by step. Lastly, leading with vision requires constant growth and refinement. Your vision should be dynamic, evolving with you as you learn, grow, and experience life. It's important to revisit your vision regularly, making sure that it still aligns with your current values, aspirations, and goals. Life is constantly changing, and so too should your vision. A vision that was once clear may need to be adjusted as you encounter new experiences or opportunities. Leading with vision doesn't mean having everything figured out from the start. It means staying committed to the process of growth, staying open to new possibilities, and refining your vision as you go. Accountability is one of the most powerful tools you can employ on your path to success. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve, to set goals, and to envision the future you desire. But without accountability, those goals can quickly fade into distant dreams. Accountability gives you the structure, discipline, and support you need to follow through on your intentions, helping you stay focused and on track even when motivation wanes. It's about taking ownership of your actions, recognizing that you are responsible for your success, and understanding that nobody else can walk this path for you. At its core, accountability is about holding yourself to the commitments you've made, not just to others, but to yourself. You set goals and intentions. It's easy to feel inspired in the moment, but when life gets busy or when challenges arise, it can become difficult to stay consistent. Accountability forces you to show up even when the excitement fades. It pushes you to act on your commitments and encourages you to keep your word, both to others and to yourself. When you make yourself accountable for your goals, you acknowledge that it's up to you to take the necessary steps to make them a reality. One of the key benefits of accountability is that it fosters discipline. Success is not just about setting goals, it's about consistently working toward those goals day after day, regardless of external circumstances. Accountability helps you build the habits and routines that turn your goals into results. It encourages you to make the right choices even when it's not easy. Without accountability, it's easy to let distractions or temptations derail your progress. When you hold yourself accountable, you're more likely to stay focused and take consistent action even when the process feels slow or challenging. Accountability also provides you with clarity. When you're accountable to someone or something, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or your own internal standards, it forces you to evaluate your progress and adjust when necessary. It helps you stay aligned with your vision and your long-term goals. Sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day tasks and forget why we started in the first place. Accountability reminds you to stay true to your vision, to regularly assess whether you're making the right moves, and to make necessary adjustments when you veer off course. It gives you the opportunity to reflect on your progress and make sure you're heading in the right direction. Another powerful aspect of accountability is the sense of responsibility it instills. When you know that someone else is watching, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or even a peer, you feel a greater sense of responsibility to follow through on your commitments. You're not only answerable to yourself, but to others who care about your success. This added layer of responsibility can be a strong motivator, as you don't want to let others down. But more importantly, it reinforces the idea that your actions have consequences. When you take accountability for your decisions and actions, you recognize that your choices directly impact your progress. This mindset shift makes you more mindful of how you spend your time, energy, and resources. Moreover, accountability fosters growth and improvement. When you are held accountable, you are encouraged to continually assess and refine your approach. You are more likely to seek feedback, to reflect on your mistakes, and to look for opportunities to improve. Growth happens when you are consistently evaluated and held to a standard. Accountability helps you identify areas where you need to improve and provides the motivation to do so. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone when no one is pushing you to stretch beyond it, but accountability encourages you to step up and perform at a higher level. Accountability is also vital for maintaining momentum. It's natural for enthusiasm to wane, especially when you're pursuing long-term goals. The initial excitement can wear off and the task may start to feel repetitive or overwhelming, but when you have accountability in place, it helps you push through those moments of doubt. It reminds you that consistency, not just passion, is what leads to success. Knowing that someone is keeping track of your progress, or even that you're tracking it yourself, helps you maintain a sense of urgency and drive. This consistent push forward is what separates those who succeed from those who give up when things get hard. Additionally, accountability creates a support system. Often we think of accountability as something we do alone, but it's most powerful when it's built on a foundation of community. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a peer group, being accountable to others creates a sense of shared purpose. You are no longer in this journey by yourself. You have people who are there to encourage you, to help you stay on track, and to remind you of your strength when you feel weak. This support system can provide both emotional encouragement and practical advice, making the journey feel less isolating and more collaborative. Finally, accountability helps you celebrate your victories. It's easy to overlook progress when you're constantly focused on the next goal. But when you're held accountable, you have someone to celebrate your successes with, whether they're big or small. Celebrating milestones along the way helps you stay motivated and reminds you that every step forward is progress. These celebrations can reignite your passion and drive, giving you the energy to keep going. Accountability turns your journey into a series of measurable achievements, reinforcing that your efforts are paying off and that success is within reach. In the end, accountability is not just about being held responsible for your actions. It's about creating a framework for growth, consistency, and achievement. It empowers you to take ownership of your journey, to push through challenges, and to stay aligned with your vision. Accountability is the force that propels you forward, ensuring that your dreams don't remain distant fantasies, but are transformed into tangible results. Whether you're working with a mentor, setting self-imposed standards, or engaging with the community, the practice of being accountable will keep you on the path to success one step at a time. In conclusion, the habits that lead to success are not just about what you do, but how you approach every aspect of your journey. Cultivating a growth mindset allows you to embrace challenges as opportunities for learning. Prioritizing self-care ensures that you are physically and mentally equipped to pursue your dreams. Gratitude transforms your perspective, fostering resilience and an unwavering focus on the positives. Leading with vision keeps you grounded in your purpose, while accountability ensures you stay on track even when the path gets tough. Each of these habits, when practiced consistently, becomes the foundation for long-lasting success. Success isn't a destination, it's a mindset, a daily commitment, and the alignment of actions with purpose. When you implement these powerful habits into your life, you create a blueprint that will propel you forward no matter where you are in your journey. The key is consistency, the willingness to grow, and the determination to keep moving forward even when obstacles arise. Remember, the road to success is rarely smooth, but with these habits guiding you, you'll build the resilience, strength, and focus necessary to overcome anything in your way. Success is within your reach. You just have to take the first step and continue showing up for yourself every day. Keep going, keep growing, and remember that your potential is limitless. So wake up, shake off the doubt, put on your crown, walk like you know who you are, build the habits that lead to success, discipline, focus, community, gratitude, vision, and watch how your life shifts. Not because of chance, but because you chose to rise, because you chose to believe that the best is not behind you, it's ahead.